Hey everybody, today I'm going to make a wonderful, and I mean totally delicious, moist banana bread. I had a couple bananas day before yesterday that I knew I needed to make banana bread with because they were so far gone. And so I went on all recipes and I found this recipe and it is so good, so moist. Everybody that I gave some to really raved about it, and it's all gone. So one of my friends wanted to try it, so I'm making another one and thought I would share with you. So I'm gonna go ahead, put it together for you, and it is really a pretty simple recipe to make. And I meant to have this sitting a little bit differently. There. Okay. So I have my bowl. You don't have to use a mixer with this, and my spatula, and I'm going to put in, that equals about a stick of room temperature butter. You want butter that is softened. So I've got that in my bowl, and I make this all in one bowl. And I've gotten this written down, so I have to keep looking at it. And you put in 1 cup of white sugar. So once you get those two ingredients put into your bowl, you mix those around. That butter could probably have been a little more soft, but I didn't realize. So you want to just mix that around, and it'll all work out okay. So anyway, that's the best I can do right now. So once you have that mixed, which it should be mixed better than what I have, you're going to add, let's see, I didn't get my eggs out, but you need 2 eggs. And I'm just going to go ahead and put those in. And along with that, I'm going to put vanilla, and it's a teaspoon of vanilla. When I put the imitation vanilla in, I always put more because I feel like that it's just, you know, not as strong, and or it definitely is not as strong and not as good as the real thing. So I add a little bit more of the imitation vanilla just so you can try to get that good vanilla taste. So you want your you're gonna mix your vanilla and your eggs in with your sugar and butter, and just give that a good stir. And like I said, if you want to use your mixer, you go ahead. It did really, really good when I made it. I think I said day before yesterday. Anyway, whatever I said, it was day before yesterday. it did really well with me just mixing it by hand. And so you just go ahead and mix that up. And then we're going to put in our flour, which is 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. Or you can use plain flour and add the baking soda and salt, or baking powder and salt. But I do not use plain flour enough to even know what the measurements would be. But it would not be hard to Google that if that's what you wanted to use. So there's my 1/2 cup. And here's the cup. And this is a Pampered Chef measuring cup that you slide it back and forth to get your measurements that you want. It's really a nice little measuring cup. So I put in the flour, and you want to stir it until it's smooth. And it really doesn't take too long to do it. And I like to be sure and sprinkle some all over the counter and the floor when I'm baking. Makes me feel like I've worked hard if I have all that to clean up. So this is getting pretty well, excuse me, mixed together. And then what we're going to do is add some applesauce. And I'm going to add, this is probably, I would say about 1.25 cups between these two containers. And they both had cinnamon in them. And I'm going to add a little bit more cinnamon, not much, just a little bit. And then you're going to want to add about 1/2 cup of sour cream. Between the applesauce and the sour cream, it makes such a moist banana bread. So I'm just using or doing this by sight. And so I'm going to mix that up a little bit. And you should more or less fold the applesauce and the sour cream in rather than just beating it. Okay, now we're going to add the bananas. And I had to have my son run to the store to get me some bananas. And of course they weren't over-ripened. So what I did was, you can do this 2 ways. You can do these in the oven on 300 degrees for 10 minutes and turn them over after the first 10 minutes. And your bananas will have a very sweet flavor. Or you can microwave them for several minutes, and that will just make them soft, but they won't have that good sweet flavor. So I did these in the oven, and I'm trying not to mash them up too much to peel them, but we're going to put these in, and they'll have that good sweet flavor. And just cut them up. So they're cut up so that every bite you get will have a good bite of banana in it instead of a squished up bite. And I may have let these go a little bit long in the oven. They just seem really ripe. I put 2 bananas in them when I made this the other day, but I'm putting 3 in today because I really enjoy that banana flavor. Okay, so now get your bananas all stirred in. And this is a good consistency. And then we're just going to pour it in our loaf pan. You can put it in whatever kind of pan you want to. You can make cupcakes or muffins if you want to. And we'll get this in there in just a second. And so there you have it. It's all ready to go in the oven. You're going to cook it on 350 for about an hour. Make sure that the center is nice and cooked and not doughy or partially raw. And when it's done, we'll come back and try a piece. The banana bread is finished now, and it took exactly an hour. And it just smells wonderful. It turned out beautifully. I wanted to show you the container I have it in. I got this at TJ Maxx, and I'm not sure exactly what it's made for, but I thought for homemade bread and like this banana bread and stuff, it's perfect. So I'm gonna show you what it turned out like. Here it is. And I'm going to get a little plate and cut a piece. And here it is. I'm going to hold it up a little bit so you can see the banana in it. And it's really moist, if you can tell. And I have made plenty of banana bread in my long life. And this by far is the best I have ever made. It is so moist and the flavor's just so good. So I'm gonna just break a little bite. I'm trying to get kind of a small bite. That is wonderful. What I'll do is put just a little butter on the top of it and just have a nice treat with some coffee. So there it is. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you make this recipe and enjoy it. And take care, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.